Hey guys, what's going on? Tool Cruise here, checking in with
トゥンです。
Today we are cycling at
しまなみ海道。
Shimanami Kaido.
Yes.
So Shimanami Kaido is one of the most famous, most beautiful cycling routes in all of Japan. And in today's video, I wanted to show you guys one of my favorite parts on this route, and that is cycling on this bridge, one of the first bridges over in the Onomichi area. So we've already filmed our full video cycling the whole Shimanami Kaido. Today we're cycling back to where we started. So if you haven't seen our first video with the whole Shimanami Kaido ride, you can check that out. But in today's video, I wanted to show you one of our favorite highlights on the ride. And we're actually doing the mountain route today, going back a little bit. So you got this nice bird's eye view of some of the bridges and islands in the distance. And this whole route has been beautiful. You just cross over all these different islands and bridges and incredible scenery, just really beautiful weather today too. But anyway, let's head on over that way and I'll show you guys the awesome bike path.
Let's go.
Let's go. Today we're on our road bikes, by the way, and I've got a full pannier setup. And it's been pretty heavy going up these mountains. But anyway, let's go. So here we are making our way to the bridge. This is Innoshima Bridge. And actually on the Shimanami Kaido route, I thought there were a lot more bike paths on here, but actually the only real bike paths on the course are when you're going over the bridges. So here we go, we're entering this first bike path. And it's kind of funny. I think these bike paths are more kind of like bike ramps. So there's actually two different ramps to get up to the bridge. One is for bikes like scooters, mopeds, and the other one is for bicycles, which is a little bit more of a easier incline. So there's a lot of beginners that do this ride, a lot of beginner cyclists and sort of first time cyclists too. So from anyone from beginner to advanced, and this path is just a nice way for everyone to get up to the bridges. But actually, we have seen a couple scooters riding on this path as well. So apparently this path is open up to both scooters and a cyclist. But it's a nice way to get up to the bridges. The bridges are really high up, of course, because they need enough space for all the boats to go on underneath the bridges. So these are the biggest climbs on the entire route. We rode about 150 kilometers yesterday, and that was going all the way over across. It's about 70 kilometers across. And then we went back halfway to stay at our hostel for the night. And there we go, we just had a bike pass us. So we were pretty shocked when we saw the first one on here. We thought they were driving illegally, but apparently it's something you can do. And we've seen quite a few. We've seen a lot more bike riders or scooter riders over here in this part of Japan than our area where we live. For anyone who's new to the channel, we live over in the Nagoya area, and we're going on a little bike vacation right now, cycling some other areas of Japan. And this is known as one of the best cycling paths and most scenic path in all of Japan for cycling. It's probably the #1 cycling destination, both domestically and internationally. And I've been wanting to come here for 5 years, so I'm really happy that we finally made it over here. And you can see this path is really nice. It's basically, yeah, a really well, properly maintained bike path. But these are sadly pretty rare here in Japan. And like I mentioned, I was pretty surprised that the rest of the course, there's actually no paths like this. But yeah, the only paths like this on this entire course are when you're going on these bridges. The rest of the roads are just regular roads, so it's actually maybe a little bit intimidating for new cyclists because a lot of the roads are really narrow. There's a lot of traffic, and if you're not used to that, that can be pretty tough. But you get some nice views when you go on these bridges and these ramps. And I'm really excited to show you guys the bike path on this bridge in particular. All the other bridges, you ride next to the cars, you ride up at the top. But this bridge, you ride at the bottom. So you ride underneath the cars, and it's really interesting. It just looks really cool. So I wanted to make an entire video dedicated to this and just show you guys this awesome part. So right here, it just looks like a normal bridge. We got the nice ocean off in the distance. And for bicycles, it's free. Pedestrians, there's a walking area as well. I think on some of the bridges, it costs money if you're riding a motorcycle or a scooter, but it's pretty cheap. Right above us is actually a highway, and most highways in Japan are paid highways, so they're pretty expensive. So here we go. Check this out. How awesome is this? So it's also cool they separate the pedestrian area for the walkers and the cyclists can go here. It is a little bit scary when you're riding on here when some of the bikes are going by pretty fast. When we came over here first yesterday, some bikes were coming towards us really fast, but there don't seem to be too many today. We're out here on a weekday, so there's not too many people out, but man, it's crazy riding under here. It's a really crazy experience. And it's all clear on the side, so you get the view of the ocean off to the side, both directions. Beautiful panorama shot of the surrounding ocean and islands. And there's a lot of people out on this course, a lot of people on rental bikes. We brought our own bikes. Fortunately, we drove over here, so we were able to do that. Chung-chan is rocking her berry kit today. Berry jersey. Berry-chan. And yeah, this bridge is pretty long. I think it's about 2 kilometers or so. I could be wrong, I'll have to double check. But it's also crazy hearing the cars right above you just rolling. You really notice it when you hear a big truck coming by. There we go. So you gotta be careful when the bikes are coming. Other than that though, just beautiful views the whole way. And it's kind of interesting, my cycle computer is acting up. It's not getting a proper GPS signal on here. I don't have the speed sensor installed, so I'm doing everything based on GPS for my speed, but yeah, I'm not getting any GPS signal underneath here. So it's basically like a tunnel. We'll have to wait till we get out to the other side and then it'll calculate everything. But yeah, pretty long bridge, pretty cool cycling path. And once you finish about halfway with the path, it starts going downhill and we're picking up speed. That guy is riding right in the middle of the path, geez. So here we are, coming to the end of the path. Turn left. And it's cool, they have usually signs in both English and Japanese. There are some sections I noticed that only had Japanese, but for the most part, they're doing pretty good and they have signs in both ways. There's the view of the bridge we just crossed. Stunning. There's so many distracting, beautiful views here. And this is the fun part, going down these descents. Chung-chan loves descending on the road bike, and this is a nice little twisty path, really smooth, really fun. Here we are leaving the bike path. They always have nice little maps of the area so you never get lost when you're on here. But the unfortunate thing is once you finish the bike path, you're back on the main roads. They do have this blue line which guides you most of the whole way. So it's pretty good for the most part. We got a little lost only a few times, but for the most part it was pretty smooth sailing. And most of the roads are pretty empty, not too many cars, so it's not bad. But yeah, that's the bike path. And that's the awesome tunnel, underground bike path. Some of my favorite parts on this ride. And of course, you can't beat these awesome views. Like, look at that. We're right here by the ocean again. Anyway, this is a beautiful spot to end the ride. Another thing, a quick tip I wanted to mention is they do have these signs. There are a couple different courses that you can take, and this is the one to Onomichi. That's where we started yesterday, and that's where we're going back to today. But I think this bridge that we just crossed is one of my favorite parts on the ride. Let's ask Tuan-chan what was some of her favorite parts on the Shimanami Kaido ride. Shimanami Kaido のライドで一番好きなところは何だった？
橋渡る。
どっち？
これ？面白い。
Yeah.
一番面白い。今の渡したのばかり。
と一番最後の橋は？
そう、長い。綺麗だけどちょっと辛いな。
Yeah. So there were two bridges that really stood out to us on this ride, and the first one is this one, of course, with the underground tunnel, and then the other one is the last one going to Imabari. It just has some really awesome switchback loops that are like bike only paths, and it's a really stunning view. So yeah, there's beautiful views along the entire course, whether you start at Onomichi or if you start at Imabara. or even in the middle. There's beautiful views all around this whole path, and we couldn't have asked for better weather. Check this out. We've just been getting gorgeous views on our whole ride, and we've got our last few K to go. We're about 10 kilometers away from finishing our second day here. And anyway, I hope you guys found this video useful. We're going to continue on with our ride, and we're going to be making a couple more videos from our cycling trip here. So be sure to subscribe and check out some of our other cycling videos from our trip. And thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time here on Tuo Cruise.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.